Most people have heard of mitochondrial disease, but it's not a very common disease in the United States or around the world. Most people have been exposed to the less severe mental illnesses in their high schools, which isn't very uncommon, but the more severe mental illnesses are the ones that people don't have a very broad knowledge of. So today I'm going to tell you about mitochondrial disease. This is a disease that I've been exposed to my entire life. My little brother Daniel has mitochondrial disease, which means he's profoundly mentally retarded. He has an IQ of 20 or below, whereas the average IQ is about 100. The organization that I'm going to talk to you about today is the United Mitochondrial Disease Foundation, and I have done a lot of volunteer work with them, as well as some research on it, so I can tell you more about it today. We're going to start by looking at mitochondrial encephalomyopathy. That is the specific type of mitochondrial disease that my brother has. And then we'll take a look at what the United Mitochondrial Disease Foundation does and who they benefit. And finally, I will share some personal experiences that I have with the particular foundation. So let's start by looking at mitochondrial disease. This is the mitochondria, the smaller pieces within the cell. If you remember from biology, this is the powerhouse of the cell. Without this particular organelle in the cells would not be able to function correctly. They would not get the energy that the cell needs. The Foundation for Mitochondrial Medicine recently published that when a cell doesn't get the correct amount of energy from the mitochondria, the cell can't function correctly. And if the cell doesn't function correctly, the entire body won't be able to function. Mitochondrial encephalomyopathy, what my brother has, is a specific type of mitochondrial disease that affects the brain. The government website, Genetics Home Reference, recently published that encephalomyopathy affects specifically the brain and therefore the nervous system as well. And when the nervous system cannot fire the correct neurons, the entire body won't be able to function. So this particular type of disease affects the entire body, specifically the brain. Let's see. And Marion Howe, my mother, and of course the mother of a child with mitochondrial disease, explained to me that each case of mitochondrial disease is unique, just as my brother's is completely unique to him, but they all fall under this particular category, and therefore Mitochondrial Disease Foundation supports all of these different types of the disease. So now let's look at what the United Mitochondrial Disease Foundation does. The United Mitochondrial Disease Foundation is dedicated to helping people afflicted with this disease as well as supporting their families. The United Mitochondrial Disease website recently updated its mission statement as to promote research and education for the diagnosis and treatment of mitochondrial disorders and to provide support to individuals affected with this disease as well as to their families. The United Mitochondrial Disease Foundation connects the families of patients as well as providing them with a much-needed support system. The United Mitochondrial Disease website recently updated the amount of grants donated to research as being $8 million, which is quite a lot considering this is a quite new organization. The Energy for Life website recently updated its page revealing the foundation of this particular organization. It was founded in 1996 by a family who had lost somebody to this particular disease. It started actually in the basement of this family's home, but over the past 10 years or so, it has grown on a national level. There are programs in every single state in our country, so it's quite a big organization for the last couple of years. So now that you know what the United Mitochondrial Disease Foundation does, I'm going to share my own personal experiences with you. This is my brother Daniel. He likes popsicles, as you can see. He comes with us every year to the fun run in Illinois that my family helps organize to raise money for the United Mitochondrial Disease Foundation. I organize booths, I sell raffle tickets and t-shirts, and I tell people about mitochondrial disease and about what it's like living with a child who has mitochondrial disease. My father also, he was a runner in college, and he runs competitively in the fun run, and usually places, of course. And there are also activities for children at the fun run, like a rock wall, clowns. There's even a guy dressed up like a giant turtle, not sure why. And finally, the other thing that my sister and I used to do when we were little to help raise money for the United Mitochondrial Disease Foundation was have a lemonade stand. We used to hand out brochures and tell people about the foundation and donate all of the money to the foundation. And as more and more people found out what we were doing, they started coming by, and we ended up making a lot of money that way for the foundation. So to sum up, today we have talked about mitochondrial disease and the different types. I told you about the United Mitochondrial Disease Foundation, and I also shared my own personal experiences with this foundation. Every family needs a good support system, and this foundation has become my family's support system. Thank you.